All right, I think we're about ready to start. Hopefully everything sounds good. Hopefully everything looks good. I've been through hell and back trying to get this stream back to form, back to formula. I can't do a Green Goblin voice, but anyways, hopefully this stream runs right. I think I got it. But there's only one way to tell when I switch over, so we'll do that in a second. Hopefully everybody's doing well. If you're stopping by, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, I think we're about ready to start up. Let's switch on over to the start screen. Okay, all right. I can already tell this stream is too bright. Let's lower the brightness a little bit. Actually, I don't think it's my thing. I think it's this this monitor shining on me that's making me seem bright. Anyways, welcome guys. Thank you for showing up if you have. Welcome back if you've been here before, and if you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm Bryce, Crossout Media. We are playing more Spider-Man. I think I finally got my stream issues fixed. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know all it took, after all the lag, all the stream shutdowns, all it took was me resetting my router. It hurt me. It physically hurt me. It killed my soul when I found that out. But we're good now. We're good. I think we're solid. So we're back to it. We're playing Spider-Man. I think it should only take 2 or 3 more streams. So I will be streaming today, tomorrow on time actually, and then probably next Tuesday. I'd love to stream Friday, but that's Christmas Eve, so I'm not going to. But yeah, probably 2 to 3 more streams, and then we'll be done with the game. I didn't have to finish the game, but I want to, and I also want to talk about the movie with you guys. So, full spoilers for this movie. Yeah, definitely full spoilers for this movie. Like, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. You need to, as soon as I say, okay, time for spoilers, you should probably leave. I'm sorry, but hopefully you've seen it by now, or you get a chance to see it soon. I'm going to be talking about it today a lot, tomorrow a fair bit. But yeah, because I got a lot to say. Did I like it? Did I not like it? Who knows? Who's to say? But hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend and week, and you were able to enjoy the movie and also treat yourself to something else nice. So, also, I got on the blue lights in the background. Blue, I tried to use blue before on an earlier Spider-Man stream, and it just made me look worse. So I was like, I don't know about that. But now I'm trying out blue in the back and red shining on me to look a little better. Because before I had white shining on me, and it just made the melanin not look too right. So I gotta somehow put some warm colors on me. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to prepare for the holidays. Sorry, excuse me. Prepare for the holidays. And also, I was trying to fix my stream. I'm trying to work a little bit because I am going to be taking a vacation in January. So I'm trying to build up some off time, basically, over at work. But yeah. Aside from that, I'm doing pretty good. Now, especially now that this stream is fixed. Spider-Man, no way. Dude, that's what I should have titled this stream, honestly. No way to talk about this movie without spoilers. You're damn right. You're damn right. Also, hopefully I sound okay. I had to do a lot of finagling with my mic and also just the stream setup itself when I was trying to fix it. And then I had to set it back into place. So hopefully I sound okay. If I'm blowing up the mic or I sound too loud, just let me know and I'll try and fix it. I'm gonna watch it again. I've seen it twice. I saw it once on Thursday night, and then I saw it once on Saturday morning. The Thursday night showing was better than the Saturday, honestly. I'm hoping to see it again. My sister's coming back in town tomorrow, and I'm hoping to catch it with her sometime this week. She's seen it, but I want to watch it again with her. But who knows? I don't know if I'll be able to make that work. Anyways, I'm gonna switch on over to the game. Also going to pause YouTube. We're going to that game audio. Cool. I think everything is set up how it should be. Hopefully. From the sound of it, you like this movie, flaws and all. It definitely has some things I don't like, but they're so minor that, like, I can't get too hung up on it, you know? Best theater experience ever. The crowd was nuts. So honestly, I'm gonna be, like, honest with you guys. It was a nice theater experience for me on that Thursday. But it wasn't the craziest. I think the craziest theater experiences I've ever had were Black Panther, and Black Panther was insane. It was nuts. I saw it on opening night. I just felt like it. I wasn't like particularly hyped about the movie, but it was insanely packed, and everybody was cheering loud, but also respectful when like important plot points came up. Then Avenger Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, those were insane. I think Endgame was more wild than Infinity War was. Infinity War was shocking because everybody was like cheering and like gasping and stuff, but at the end it was all silence, and that was eerie. But for Endgame was like a football stadium. People were cheering and clapping. It was insane. It was incredible. And there was some of that too in Spider-Man, but not as much. And maybe that was because I didn't watch it in my college town. So, who knows? Who's to say?
Should stop by the lab and check on Doc.
Anyways, the stream is running clearly and it looks crisp as shit. Excuse my language, but it looks crisp. I can see it. I can see that it looks crisp, and I'm very happy after my pain and suffering of this stream dropping over and over and over again. And again, all it took was a reset of the router. And I did so many side missions. I played through so many side missions, or not side missions, but I got so many collectibles and took so many pictures trying to test this stream out. I basically did everything but the Black Cat missions and the lab missions. And these like longer missions basically. Wait, is that a landmark? You sly devil.
There's a caller on the line we all need to hear from. Go ahead, sir.
For me, Spider-Man was way more hyped than Endgame in the movie auditorium. Oh, really? Dang, okay. Well, so you guys liked the movie, I'm guessing. Also, hold on. Is the game audio on? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Sorry, didn't mean to pause in the middle of that very beautiful, nice swing. I just, you know, I just had to make sure. We've had so many stream difficulties before. I'm just trying to make sure it's an optimal experience for y'all. Yeah, so you guys liked it. I'm very glad. Yeah, I talked a little bit before about not liking Endgame as much um as some other, or not Endgame, my bad. Far From Home as much as some other people, but I adored this movie. It set up so many stakes for Peter Parker. He made a bunch of mistakes from his immaturity, and then he had to fix it. Um, he had to face the consequences of his actions. I appreciated Doctor Strange being there. Like there were ties to the MCU, which I had been kind of critical about before, but that was because these movies kind of had their whole plots centered on something that happened in the MCU and Peter had to react to it. This time it was like a sole Peter Parker story. He made the mistake and he had to fix it, and it was affecting him and his loved ones, and I really, really appreciated that. I'm gonna see it like 4 more times for Norman Osborn. Probably number 4. Why? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Hey Jay, how you doing? Um, I guess this is what we're doing then. Thank God Spider-Man has no. Actually, I forgot there's I forgot there's fast travel in this game. Um, it does. This is what crossout media is all about. Being chaotic. Um, you loved how the goblin fights were shot close and rough to the other fights. Did you guys notice um the Spider-Man video game PS4 PS5 moves that Peter was doing versus the goblin? Also, Jay, have you seen this movie? Again, if you guys haven't seen this movie, I will be talking full spoilers in like literally like a minute. So, you might just want to, I don't know, leave or just turn down the volume and still support me with a view. um, Goblin, dude, Willem Dafoe was a better, I think, had a better performance in this movie than he did in Spider-Man 1. And that's crazy to, sorry, excuse me, that's crazy to say, but I honestly think it's true. Where the hell am I supposed to go?
Gotta run before some demons start shooting you. To me instead.
You don't mind spoilers. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to check. Um, yeah, the uh
Web swinging.
he said I'm usually web swinging. Yeah, somebody banned my my web slinging, so I gotta walk there. Wait, I can still run. Okay, cool. Um, he had a terrifying performance in this one, but that's because you got to see his face, and that movie didn't have that campiness. Yeah, he kind of had like a Joker feel to his facial expressions and just like the psychoticness um, that he kind of had in his performance. I really, really enjoyed it. I really loved Jamie Foxx's Electro too. I liked the new and improved Electro, and I got a real kick out of when he spawns in and it has the dubstep playing. I was always a fan of the electro, the stupid ass electro dubstep. So when it showed up for literally just that 1 second, I was like, yeah, let's go, let's go. Um,
Just in time to celebrate.
the NPCs really are roasting me.
Celebrate?
Also,
Wait. Where are the arms?
uh,
Oh wow.
oh wait, sorry, this is a reveal. But also, I really loved when I just loved all the references. So like Doc Ock saying like the power of the sun in the palm of my hand, or like Green Goblin, or what basically Norman Osborn saying, you know, I'm something of a scientist myself. And the little smirk on his face as he said it, like I actually screamed during that line because I was like, no, they did not. No, they didn't. No, they're not working in these memes into this movie in an organic way.
Take a look.
Um, but no, this movie, oh man, it was so good. It was so amazing.
This is impressive.
What was your guys' favorite part of the movie? I like to know that before I really get into things. Also, I'm just trying to balance out my lights because I feel like I'm a little dark. Like I said a couple minutes earlier, I tried to put red on me to make myself warmer because the blue lights usually like make me look pale as hell. So,
Little error though. Voltage.
the apartment sequence.
An easy fix.
The hands down your favorite. Yeah, it was interesting to me watching it a second time. I really love the end fight between Peter and Goblin, especially since it's like super savage. But I think that the apartment fight was kind of the highlight. The way it starts off with Peter like noticing that something's wrong with his spider sense, and then like just the music fading out and the very, very claustrophobic close up on his face as he's walking around trying to figure out like where's the danger coming from. And then the way that everything just breaks out and Green Goblin just sort of ruining everything. It was so intense. Oh, okay. That's something I definitely want to talk about on this stream. Um,
See if that.
I was kind of in shock. I was kind of in shock by the ending. Um, not the spell making everybody forget him because I kind of predicted that. Even though I predicted a lot of things in this movie, but still I had a very very good time. It was when he got his own apartment and he had to stitch his own suit. That like shook me. I was like, holy crap. Like that was where I realized that these movies all kind of work as one big origin story for Peter. And I was kind of like, oh my god, like how did they somehow manage to do that? So it was very I had a really fun time seeing him thank you for clipping that. I had a really fun time just seeing Peter become more of the classic, Spider-Man. I really loved seeing that red and blue suit, especially since like the blue was like really popping off. Like it was really it was just like really aesthetically pleasing to see. Also, I'm also going to skip this. I'm sorry.
That stabilized it.
Yeah, that stabilized it. Doc Ock will be fine.
Spike is cascading. I don't know if I can fix this.
He has to grow up and be on his own and not in someone else's shadow. Yeah. Yeah, that I really like that choice. And I also it's interesting because everybody forgets who Peter Parker is, but nobody forgets who Spider-Man is. So if you want him to show up in something as an Avenger or to fight alongside a superhero, you could still do it. Like he won't show up like, I don't know, people want him to be in Hawkeye, right? Because of the ending of this movie, he swings past the Rockefeller Center, and apparently the last episode of Hawkeye is going to take place there too. People want him to show up in like different things with different superheroes, and he can do that because people still remember who Spider-Man is. They just don't know who's under the mask, and I like that. I like that. Yeah, he finally knows his place. Oh man. I want a Daredevil partnership so bad. So do I. So here's how I'm gonna go through this movie. So we're gonna skip this puzzle as well. Here's how I'm gonna go through this movie. I'm gonna kind of like talk through all the major beats, and what I liked and what I didn't like, and then later I'm going to talk about like, what I hope to see in the future. But just to give like a quick like what I want to see in the future before going into detail later. Oh, that's so interesting. So me skipping the puzzles makes it worse for him. Well, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Ain't no problem. He ain't gonna die.
This is bad. Doctor? Doctor, I found a potential problem.
Us. Several problems, actually.
Favors the bowl.
Hawkeye is fire starting episode 4. Yes, actually, I would say episode 3, personally.
Web isn't isolated.
When I started watching Hawkeye, I wasn't really that warm on it. Episode 1, I thought was actually bad. The fight scenes were kind of rough.
For the first time in my life,
Damn, he kind of angry at us. The fight scenes and kind of the character introductions of people were kind of bad, aside from Kate Bishop herself. Haley Steinfeld is amazing. And we know Clint already, so that's fine. But everybody else in the show, I was just kind of, And then episode 2 was a little bit better, as we kind of saw Kate and Clint's dynamic. But then episode 3, I think, is where it picked up. The action kind of when it stepped into full gear, and then I think from then I've kind of been with it. So, yeah, watch episode 5 because it's very good, and it has something cool in it. I'll just say, it has a cool reveal. I don't know if you know what it is, but I won't spoil it for anybody.
thank you, Peter.
But no, in the future, I definitely want to see Daredevil. I want to see Spider-Man team up with Daredevil. I want to see him team up with the Human Torch, since that's one of his friends in the comics. I'd like to see him team up with Captain America, the new Captain America. I don't remember this cutscene.
You have no idea what you're in for.
Also, that was like extremely close up. I don't remember that cutscene. I wonder if that triggered because I didn't do the puzzles.
I should check on Miles. Hey, Pete. Hi, Miles.
You want to see a Fantastic Four friendship and also a small Deadpool interaction if possible. I mean, I think we'll see him. I think we'll see him interact with Deadpool at some point. His interaction with Fantastic Four, I think, will be so interesting because whenever I see him interact with Fantastic Four, I feel like Reed, Mr. Fantastic, tolerates him, but kind of doesn't like him, Spider-Man. I think Sue Storm is always nice to him. Like, she's fine with him. Johnny, the Human Torch, he loves Spider-Man. And I think also, the Thing, Ben Grimm, he also tolerates Spider-Man. So it's like 2 of the 4 of the Fantastic Four are just like, I don't really like him, but he's always around, so I guess we'll deal with him. And then the other 2 are like, oh, you're like actually a joy to be around. And I kind of like that dynamic. Okay, I won't spoil any anything Hawkeye related.
We got him. Tomato, tomato. My point is, he's been burning the candle at both ends lately.
I hope that Peter keeps his identity from them for a good while. Yeah, I do think that moving forward, Peter will be a lot more hesitant in revealing himself. I think if he does reveal himself to people, it will only be the Fantastic Four, and then maybe in like major crossover movies. So like maybe in a future Avengers movie it might happen, but I think he'll be a lot more conflicted or like trying to hide it more often. Because beforehand he was just like, oh hey, I'm Peter. I'm your boy. Um, but anyways, how does this movie start? Um, ooh, guys, it's so nice watching the stream at 60 frames and watching it not drop any frames. This shit is clean. It's nice. I'm happy. It's a good time had by all. Um, but no. So this movie opens with uh, like you get the Marvel logo, but you hear like the broadcast from the end of Far From Home, and it's so ominous, like it's so scary, and I love like that sense of like impending dread that I got when I heard it. And I had a bingo card. Maybe I can bring it up later, but I had a bingo card, and one of the things on the bingo card was the movie opens with "What the fuck," and technically it did. Technically, we got that. I mean, it was cut off by a car horn, but we got that. Um, and from there, I just really loved like uh, the beginning of the movie was kind of like it had those teenage rom com like teenage romp vibes. It was, despite everybody like finding out, it was very fun and lighthearted for a little while. Um, Even though Peter's life was like imploding on itself. A lot of people like to dislike the first 30 minutes. No, I think it's fine because like you you get some happiness in Peter's life or some levity in Peter's life before everything like once the apartment fight starts. I would say halfway through the movie, like the movie just goes dark and doesn't like let up. Like it just gets increasingly darker, even with the appearance of you know who and you know who. Um, it still stays dark. So, I had a good time with it because I like the second time I watched it, I specifically went in thinking like, okay, does the first 30 minutes of this movie still hold up, or was I just like very high on finally seeing this movie? And it does hold up, I think. You get some levity, but you also get these consequences where Peter realizes because he's been exposed to the world, um, he like his friends and family's lives are starting to be ruined. The anxiety I felt during Peter going back to the apartment, Aunt May and Happy are breaking up, and they misinterpret them as about to having sex. That was hilarious. That was so funny. I laughed so much during that. I thought it was really funny. Um, and it was just I really loved Aunt May like trying to give him the talk while he's like also freaking out because the paparazzi is outside, and then he's like, oh, she's like, oh, you must be MJ. I thought that was really really funny. Um, what else? We're getting to a part of the game where I don't remember parts of this. Oh, never mind. I do remember this. This is the best part of the game. Never mind. I remember. We're about to play the best mission in the entire game. Also, okay. I do think, before we go back to the No Way Home talk, I do think that you know, that Doc Ock cutscene we just saw, I think that only triggers if you don't do the puzzles. Because this mission is the reveal of Doc Ock being bad. At least for me, like, whenever I had played this game. Anyways, we're gonna stick to the No Way Home suit in this mission. But first of all, we're gonna fix my lights because your boy is looking dark. Give me 2 seconds. I don't think that fixed a damn thing. Anyways, we're just gonna mess with red light. Um. Anyways, you still haven't beaten this game. Well, hopefully you can see the end of this game through this stream, if I make it there. My biggest issue with this movie had to be the explanations for why the villains were there, and I still haven't inferred an explanation yet. Well, you've come to the right place, Watchdog. So let's go through them. So in the movie, all the villains show up, and the villains were there because right at the end of the spell, that Doctor Strange tries to do, where he keeps revising it because Peter's like, oh, MJ should know about my identity. Ned should know about my identity. MJ should know about my identity. Sorry, I got distracted. All the people, he says, all the people who knew before should basically know. And this is as Doctor Strange is like cracking open the multiverse. So it basically brings in everybody who knew about his identity into the MCU. Now there is a mistake in this movie. Electro, Max Dillon, Jamie Foxx, he does not know that Peter is oh god, I'm getting fucked up. He does not know that that Peter is Spider-Man. So why Max Dillon, why Electro is there, I have no idea. I'm not going to question it though. But everybody else knows that he's Spider-Man, and they get brought in because of the spell. The third act major fight scene was weak in your opinion, kind of disappointing. Which part? The part where they're trying to cure all of the heroes, the ones with all the Spider-Men, or just Peter versus Goblin at the end? Also, I also disagree. I think that Peter versus Goblin, the apartment fight is better than the end fight, but I still think the end fight hits for me because of the music and the close-up shots of like Peter being rageful.
Spider-Man, can you get to that rooftop? There's an officer calling for help up there. On my way.
Oh. The cure thing. I do wish that we got to see more of Toby and Andrew, but it wasn't anything where I was like, damn, like I'm actively disappointed that of this fight. It was just like, okay, like we got it. I wish we would have got a little bit more, but I'm still happy with I'm still happy that we got it at all, you know? Calm down. The Spidey interactions were great. Love seeing things like Andrew saving MJ to the max and Dr. Octopus and Toby catching up. Yeah, so were there any moments in this movie that you guys cried or like felt emotional? Because the first time I saw this, I almost cried 4 times. I almost cried after the apartment battle. Aunt May dies. Which was incredibly sad, and I had a feeling that they were going to do it, but I didn't want them to do it because I kind of feel like there's still more that Marissa Tomei's Aunt May could have done, because in Homecoming she's used a little bit, but mostly as a joke, and then in Far From Home she's used as almost completely a joke. And then this one, she gets some character development. She basically takes Uncle Ben's place. I'm going to die because of this guy. She basically takes Uncle Ben's place. So I appreciated that, but I still felt like he could have gone into, like, I guess the college trilogy with her still being around. And I personally, before this movie, before they did what they did with Ned, I would have killed Ned, honestly. I think it would have served the same sort of thing. I mean, maybe you don't get the with great power comes great responsibility, but you still make him rageful. The bigger guys are harder to kill on hard mode. But the moments that I got emotional at were let me think. What was Aunt May dying? Andrew catching MJ. I got super emotional. I think Toby getting stabbed, because when he catches the glider. When he catches the glider, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be crazy if he got stabbed right now from the back, and then it happened, and I was like, oh fuck, like they went there. What else? There was another, because I remember there were 4 distinct times. I think it was when maybe when the Spider-Man appeared, so Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, I think I almost cried. But I remember distinctly when Aunt May died that I didn't cry when she died. I got choked up, but I didn't cry. I almost cried when Happy drives up and sees her, and the music is welling up as his tears are welling up, and then he's like screaming at Peter to leave. That got me choked, like really choked up. Like I was about to burst into tears. I was super sad. Peter and the friends of Spider-Man embrace each other. Toby getting stabbed and Aunt May. Yeah. That? Okay, at least it didn't blow up.
Okay, looks like things are somewhat under control.
I feel like the death of Aunt May really was the tip of the spear for Peter instead of Ned. Yeah, I understand. I understand why it happened. And it did serve a purpose. I really love Electro in this game. He is such a cool design. It did serve a purpose and it was effective. I just kind of, like, part of me feels that I would have liked to see Marissa Tomei more in these movies, I guess. But her death, she was extremely good in this movie. She got a solid bit of character development, and her death actually served a purpose for Peter as a character. I would love to see Ned return in a reporter role, similar to the second movie of the trilogy, similar to MJ in this game. You know, I was going to go through the entire movie step by step, but nah. We'll just talk about what we liked and what we didn't like, and it'll just be full spoilers. What do you guys think that they're going to do with Ned? Like, you said you would like to see that. Do you think that they are going to turn Ned into a possible villain, into the Hobgoblin, or do you think that that was just a nice joke, a nod that they threw in? Because I've been seeing a lot of people on social media, like, I know that they put that in there where they were like, where Ned was like, oh, I promise I won't turn bad and try and kill you. But now I feel like people are like really expecting it to happen. Damn, come on. Ned is probably gonna do Hobgoblin, but with magic. I hope so. That's what I want. I don't... The one thing I don't... If they do Hobgoblin, I don't want to see it get to a point where like Peter and him have to like kill each other. Like I hope that they come to a confrontation, but I hope that somehow Peter can talk him down and turn him good. So, dude, this is what this stream is for. Watchdog, go for it. Go for it. I'm about to tell you my fan fiction for what I want for the next trilogy. You can talk about what you want for the next trilogy. Also, I would like to get up there. Sorry, Peter isn't doing his normal thing. I think the game glitched out. 'Cause I couldn't grapple on anything.
Hey, what's your status?
Me? Just trapped in a prison with every criminal I put away in the last week.
This is too good to be true.
Yo, let's see Scorpion in the next trilogy, please. It's been 3 movies. Let's do it. Also, you said you went off topic. Hold on a second. I didn't see what you did. Oh, no, you didn't go off topic. That's still... Even if you guys go off topic, I don't care. This stream isn't... it's like exclusively Spider-Man. It's just me talking with y'all and chilling out. If you haven't seen the movie or you just don't want to talk Spider-Man, that's okay too. Sorry for making you jump around with the movie. Oh, no problem. I got ADHD anyways, so rarely will I ever be focused. You'd rather Morbius. Interesting. So here's where I think that there's a lot of things that they could do after this, honestly.
Come on, Spider-Man. I thought this was a chase.
Maybe it's me, but I can only see Electro as black now. That might just be a me thing. But now that I see a white Electro, I'm like, Also, this part, I think, is my favorite, just because how cinematic it looks. Listen, all I'm saying is Scorpion with the Venom symbiote would be sick. I saw that yesterday. Is that a comic thing? Has he been Venom before? I love Vulture's. This is probably my favorite Vulture look. I love Vulture in this game, and I hope that if they ever bring Vulture back, he looks like this.
Okay, I got the security cameras back online.
How's it look?
Well, it looks like the entire population of the raft has escaped, including Martin Lee. That makes 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go.
Damn.
Heading into the city.
This is nuts.
My first time seeing it was on Ultimate Spider-Man TV show as a kid, though. I saw parts of that show, but I didn't see that. That would be really cool. See, there's so many directions they could go. Damn, I'm going to die. Peter, run! Don't crawl, run! Why are you crawling?
Electro, stop!
Okay, cool. We got there. Sorry. Back to our talk. I had to get up there.
How do you like my new suit?
It's actually pretty dope, dude.
Where'd you get it?
Okay,
It's an exclusive club.
so What I would like to see. I want to talk about something specific, but it would spoil Hawkeye, so I'm going to leave it out. But I would like to see Daredevil show up in this new trilogy. I would like to see the Fantastic Four. I would like to see Scorpion. I really want to see Kraven, although they're making a Kraven movie apparently on the Sony side, so who knows. They could bring back Vulture, honestly, now that he doesn't know who Spider-Man is because of the spell. Who else? I'm trying to think. There's so many directions they could go in now. I was talking with a friend earlier. If Sony was really smart, they'd make another movie with they'd pay out the ass to get Andrew Garfield back and make a third one. And then they'd make all these movies, Venom, Kraven, any of these, Morbius, they'd tie it into Andrew Garfield's universe.
Each of you has a job to do.
You know, I'm surprised that the Sinister Six didn't get upset at Otto for just not killing Spider-Man. Like, he just threw him, but he didn't kill him. I'm surprised they didn't go, dude, what the hell? I'm super curious if the X-Men will be a part of the MCU. Rumor is that, at least I heard one rumor, that Charles Xavier, Professor X, might be in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, the second Doctor Strange movie. Maybe something in that movie sparks the beginning of mutants, or the introduction of mutants. Would much rather prefer him coping at the idea of killing Harry and the gentleman out of rage for Gwen's death. Oh, yeah.
It's over, Norman.
I don't want to see I don't know if I want to see him actually kill someone if they do decide to do an Andrew Garfield movie, but I do want to see him stop pulling his punches, you know, almost kill somebody. But I think him actually killing somebody would be a lot. Not that Peter hasn't done it in the comics before. He did kill a woman on accident in the comics. But I don't know if I would love him actually like killing his villains. But yeah, they also gotta just never mention the spider blood in the parent storyline. Just pretend it didn't. Don't even focus on it. Also, I think this plot line is more relevant than ever right now. Back in 2018, we were just like, oh, haha, devil's breath, and now we're just like, fuck.
Can you pass those out for me? Sure.
Ah, I hit my teeth on the Yeti.
By Sable International, who maintain tight security over all transit points. Throughout the city, police and Sable agents continue to battle with Rikers and Raft escapees. Meanwhile, Mayor Osborn has gone on record blaming Spider-Man for the prison break and citywide sickness, and branding him a fugitive. But he is yet to find evidence, and many believe the mayor is just deflecting.
One thing I would. Am I right that the Flash also doesn't like killing the villains? Yeah, the Flash, both in the comics and the TV show, he always tries to talk to his villains. In the TV show, he always tries to talk to them. In the comics, he will fight them while trying to reason with them. So yeah, and then like some of Flash's villains aren't even like that bad, like. They're just like kind of misunderstood and sometimes even halfway friendly with him because he's nice to them.
Why?
this happen?
Just got a call from the hospital.
Maybe that's why I like The Flash.
Need to get back.
Like, that's not the primary reason why I love The Flash, but that might be a reason why I like him.
92 non-broken ones. Thanks for taking care of me, by the way.
Yeah, that was also a thing. Over the weekend, while I wasn't streaming, I was desperately trying to watch through The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 with my girlfriend because she hadn't seen those movies. And I really wanted her to get to Gwen's death so that it would hit when she saw No Way Home. And she knew that Gwen died, right? And she was like, "Oh, I know she dies already. I don't have to see these movies." And I'm like, "Trust me, you have to see these movies." And so she got to the death, and she didn't. What I realized was that she didn't know how it happened. So when it did, she was like distraught, and I was like, "Yes." I was like, "This is why we watch these movies, because if you're distraught at this, you're gonna be distraught at the MJ save." In No Way Home, and she was. So I was happy that we were able to blast through those movies. But they're not terrible. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 are not terrible movies. They have things that do not work, but if you're rating them as movies, they're both like 6 out of 10s. They're fine. They're passable. And they have some really good things and some really bad things, and it just evens out to an okay experience. But I've always liked Andrew Garfield as my favorite Spider-Man personally. If we didn't have Amazing Spider-Man 2, we wouldn't have this game. Peter would not swing the way he does if not for that movie. Like I can literally that over the building, this dive right here, the tricks in the air, all of that is from Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, like, you kind of have to give that movie some props. It has the best CGI, best swinging. Andrew Garfield is actually really good. Damn, come on, guy. Chasm 1's issue for me is that it retreads the origin. It feels so half-assed and not good. So for me, rewatching it, I appreciated it. Like it was different enough for me. I like Sally Field and I forget the actor for Uncle Ben, but I liked their portrayals. Uncle Ben was a bit more stern, I guess. He wasn't as nice. He was more stern. Like when Peter messed up, he was there to chastise him and argue with him and try and make him be responsible for his actions, right? And I like that. It does tread a lot of the same ground, but I do appreciate them trying to be trying to do a different take, a more modern take. But I mean, to each his own. It's not going to work for everybody. I'm going to check chat and hope I don't get blasted by a rocket launcher. I remember a clip of the Flash sitting with an antagonist, the Trickster, at a bar to go back to jail, and the antagonist was like, "Thanks, man. This was a nice talk." Yeah, that's definitely the Flash. There is a lot of bad guys around, and I wish I could fight them all, but we're gonna try and go through this story, and I guess I have to fight them a little bit.
City under quarantine.
They were great in just human things like Uncle Ben running for the gun. Oh, absolutely. Uncle Ben, like, trying to go for the gun is dumb. That's actually stupid. But, like little things where, like, Peter's trying, or Uncle Ben is trying to, like, he says, go pick up your aunt. Be sure to go pick up your aunt. After he, basically goes to the principal's office because Peter was embarrassing Flash during the basketball scene, and he's like, I have to take off work because of this, so you have to go pick up your aunt. And Peter is like experimenting with his spider powers, and then he starts to like chastise him because of his mistake. He's like, Peter's phone rings, and he's like, don't answer that, but I'm glad to see that it's working. Like, in such a stern way, and I love it. Like, he's so angry. And then he tells Peter like his father lived by with great power comes great responsibility. And Peter's like, okay, cool, that's all well and good. Where is he then? If he felt like he had to be responsible for the things that he did, then why did he leave me? And Uncle Ben's like, how dare you? And he's like, how dare me? Or whatever he says. He's like, how dare you? Like, it's such an intense, like, conversation. And Andrew Garfield is just so good. Did you know Ned is a bad guy in a Tom Holland movie? He's not a bad guy yet, but he could be. He very well could be. We're theorizing that maybe he might become Hobgoblin with a little bit of magic. Oh, absolutely. I actually got a kick out of Toby saying, "With great power comes great responsibility." And Andrew, or not Andrew. Tom Holland is saying, "How did you know that?" And he's like, "Oh, Uncle Ben said it to us." That's what Andrew Garfield said. He said, "Uncle Ben said it to us," and I'm like, technically, Uncle Ben did not say that to you. He said, "If you have your father lived by a philosophy. He believed that if you could do great things, you had a moral obligation to something or other." It's such a weird rewording. It's such a roundabout. Like, you had an obligation to be responsible to do those things. I don't fucking know. I can't remember it. It's so weird. When you search Ned Leeds, it tells you that he's a Hobgoblin. Yeah, he is the Hobgoblin in the comics. So he could be Hobgoblin in the future movies. Somebody responded to me on Twitter saying that they could do something where maybe Ned and MJ date, and then Peter somehow crosses paths with MJ again. And I hate these flying guys so fucking much. Somehow maybe MJ and Peter cross paths again, and since Ned doesn't know that Peter is like Spider-Man or whatever, he gets jealous and somehow gets into a confrontation with Spider-Man and tries to kill him. And I think that's a little weird, but I mean, it could work.
Wonder what powers those jetpacks. Dreams.
See, I don't know if I want him to kill Ned. I don't know if I want him to kill Ned. I do want to see them have a confrontation. I do want to see it get intense, but I don't know if I want to see Peter kill Ned. Just because we've had that before. I'd like to see it get close, but then Peter's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Also, thank you, Jay. I need to hydrate. My mouth was actually getting dry. Glad to see the stream is still working.
It's happened, people. The chickens have come home to roost. Of course, by chickens, I mean the lunatics who've escaped the Rikers Island.
Double hydrate. Okay. Let me run up this building real quick.
Thanks to Spider-Man attracting these.
Ned is an okay character. Yeah, I liked him in this than he's fine in Homecoming, right? Because he matches the lighthearted tone, but he's just a joke in Far From Home, and I don't like that. And I thought they were just gonna make him a joke in in this movie. But no, he actually had a purpose for the story, and we got to see a little bit more depth to that character.
Stand by for further instruction.
I can't tell which side is which. We will go right side, I guess. The only thing I don't like about this Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, is that you can't do tricks while you're diving like you can in Miles's game. That's probably my favorite thing.
Are you available? We need help at Feast's sister's site uptown.
The Veterans Center in Harlem. What's wrong?
Men from Rikers are demanding food and supplies. The staff are barricading.
My fanfiction is going nuts after No Way Home. Like, I want Tombstone to show up. Give it to me.
Do anything until I get there, man.
Give it to me. Give me your fanfiction. My fanfiction is that Peter
You in Harlem.
has to fight the Kingpin, and the Kingpin doesn't want to directly deal with him because he's dealing with Daredevil. So he just sends a bunch of fucking villains after him, like Scorpion and Vulture and maybe Morbius and Kraven. I think Sony making a Kraven like spin-off movie is the biggest mistake ever, honestly. Because a Kraven movie with with Tom Holland could be so good.
All units, escaped prisoners are stealing food from a supply station.
But now, like, if you're gonna give Kraven a spin-off movie and put him in the Sony-verse, I guess, then he can't interact with Tom Holland. He might be able to interact with Andrew Garfield if they decide to tie those movies into Andrew Garfield's universe, but it'll be hard to do a Tobey Maguire. I keep saying Tobey Maguire. It'll be hard to do a Tom Holland movie
Transformers are charging me for trapping the police
with
inside.
Kraven if they decide to put him in the Sony-verse.
Complicated was an understatement. I'm gonna have to disable these Transformers to free your men.
Even if you manage that, they'll still need your help with the demons.
That's why I'm here, ready to serve all your electricity and demon-related needs.
I think Tombstone, now that I think about it, Watchdog, I think Tombstone being in these movies would actually be a really good choice. I want to see Peter fight more gangs. I think that would be very cool.
Now, free to go. Man, I did not miss dealing with Electro's elaborate supervillain antics while he was in the raft.
Ow.
Trapping the police with a network of energy transformers? Who does that?
Ow!
Great. Two left. Only one more.
I will check chat in 2 seconds. Where do I need to shoot? Oh, that way.
Police are free, but demons aren't backing down. Need to lend a hand.
Peter dealing with the fact that he doesn't want to get personal with other people because of money problems. He needs to get a roommate from his college, which would be Vince Gonzalez. And Vince wants to be his friend, but Peter is scared of getting close and hurting him. Who is Vince Gonzalez? I can't believe I'm asking who is the Spider-Man thing. But you know what? That's actually fun for me. Asking who is that, because like I catch myself being such a big Spider-Man fan, but I don't know everything. So when I don't know a person, I'm fascinated, and I'm like, ooh, that's a whole corner of the universe that I'm excited to learn about now. An underrated ass character in my opinion. Interesting. I do know at one point, I think in the newer comics, I think the 2018 run, which is the current run technically, his roommate was for a time Robbie Robertson's son, who is the news reporter who works with J. Jonah Jameson. By the way, I want to see... So, I want to see Peter work for the Bugle. I want to see Robbie Robertson again. I want to see his son this time. I also want to see Betty. But if they're going to put Betty in these movies again, they gotta do something to her design. Because the actress, she's nice and all. The actress who plays Betty in these movies. But she looks so much like Gwen Stacy. And they have to change that. They really do have to change that.
Yuri, your men are safe. What's next?
Cool.
We're trying to shelter civilians, but Rhino isn't making it easy.
He never does. On my way.
I like how we're talking more about, like, what could happen and less about the movie, but it's just that this movie ended in such a way that it opens up so many doors. Like, it's genuinely exciting. It opens up so many possibilities.
I need to finish with the precincts fast and get to Harlem.
Basing female colors off of hair color. No, that's not what I'm talking about. She wears pearls like classic Gwen Stacy. She wears the black headband like Gwen Stacy. She dresses like Gwen Stacy in Homecoming. She is literally like her look is Gwen Stacy. Holy shit, I got blasted by whatever sniper rifle that was. Oh, and he died. Spider-Man just killed someone. I like how this game starts to become Arkham City, and people have criticized it for that, but this is actually my favorite part of the game, when the whole city is, like, against you. The movie was a rebirth of the character. And I liked how, like, everything in the movie was, it just served to, like, how do I explain it? Everything in it made sense to service the message of Peter having to take responsibility. Like, with great power comes great responsibility. Because at the beginning of the movie, when Aunt May calls him and is like, you gotta help these people. You gotta help these villains. And he's like, it's not my problem. Like, he basically says it's not my problem. Just like he did with Uncle Ben in both of the movies. In both of, in Tobey Maguire's version and in Andrew Garfield's version. And she's like, you have, like, she tells him, like, is it not your problem? Or do you just want it not to be your problem? And I found that, like, very interesting. Like, she's trying to, in this movie, she's trying to reinforce that message to him, and then as she dies, she basically spells it out right to him. And I like how that, Goblin's whole thing in Spider-Man 1 was, he had, Goblin was a mirror of Spider-Man, of Peter Parker. He had the power, but he didn't want any responsibility. He thought of himself as essentially a god, and in this movie, he has the same philosophy. He's like, we can take what we want. Like, we're powerful enough. We can do whatever the hell we want. And that speaks to, at least Electro. Using Spider-Man and the grounded magia stuff could keep him MCU connected. You're right, because every connection that a person has. Honestly, you're kind of right. One thing I want to see with MJ is I don't need to see MJ in the next movie. If I had it my way, the next movie would be probably Peter fighting gangs like the Magia, or like the Magia's Hammerhead's gang, right? Like he'd be fighting like Hammerhead and like Tombstone and stuff, trying to not form too many personal connections in his Peter Parker life, right? Because he'd still be feeling like burnt about that, and like you'd see him like struggling as Peter Parker, maybe taking up a job at the Bugle. But I like probably I'd want the main villain to be Scorpion, and you guys say that Scorpion gets the Venom symbiote in oops, wrong thing. You say that he gets the Venom symbiote in the comics, so I could see, you know, Peter getting the Venom symbiote and being more angry because of all the stuff that has happened to him in the prior 3 movies, and then eventually he learns that it's corrupting him, so he takes it off, and then Scorpion gets it. But also I would like to see Black Cat be brought into it, and like Peter gets the black suit, and that makes him more impulsive and more like more kind of like open to his desires, I guess, because like at this point he doesn't really have a life as Peter Parker, so he want to be Spider-Man more often than not, and Black Cat is all about him being Spider-Man. Like she loves when he's Spider-Man. She doesn't really care for Peter Parker all that much, so having somebody who likes him while he's in the suit, that probably would speak to him, especially while he's feeling himself with the symbiote on. That's what I would want. That's what I would want for MJ. I personally, I don't even want her in the 4th movie. Like, give us some time pass. Give us some time pass where, like, we feel her absence, and then bring her back in, like, the 5th movie or something, where either she's a model, either she's a model and Peter has to somehow cross paths with her again, even though he doesn't want to. Or you could make her, like, you know, she hasn't really shown that many, like, model tendencies, I guess. So, like, you could make her do something, like, based in science or based with, like, investigation. I don't really need her as a model. I just need Zendaya with the red hair. And if you would have asked me years ago... Damn, I'm getting fucked up! Did you guys see how he fell like a ragdoll? My man got messed up. If somebody could clip that, oh my god. I tried my best, but I didn't succeed. Let me add in the death. Got an hour in before we got there. Oh. Okay, it didn't work, but that's okay. Let's try it one more time. My death counter isn't working. You'd think it would be funny seeing Peter get the symbiote and Venom, since this is still Venom from the movies. It says, let's be partners, and Peter is like, okay, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Yeah, I actually have something about that. About Peter, because now Peter has knowledge of possible things that possible people he might come up against in the future. And I actually wanted to bring that up in a quick second. As soon as I can figure out this death counter. Give me 2 seconds. Also, going back to the Zendaya thing real quick, um, I don't need to have her be a model or an actress or anything. Although that would be an easy way to have her use the Mary Jane name as a stage name. Um, I just want Zendaya to have the red hair because she dyed her hair red during the red carpet of Far From Home. You can Google it, and it looks incredible. So I want her to have that in the movies. Well, then I might have to close chatbot out and open it back up. Um, so while I'm sitting here, one thing that I would like is you have maybe Kingpin as like the overarching villain, sending all these Spider-Man foes to Spider-Man, like Scorpion, who might get the Venom symbiote, or maybe Vulture again, or the gangs like Tombstone and whatnot, Tombstone, Hammerhead, etc., etc. There's a lot you can play around with, but one thing I kind of really want to see is Peter goes to college and runs into Harry, but he runs into this guy. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. He runs into this guy who he strikes up a friendship with, and he thinks that he's a normal guy, and his name is Harold Lyman. Now, Harold Lyman, that's Harry. That's Harry. That's his first name, and Lyman. Oh, thank you for the follow. Hold on, let me check to see who it was. Marcus Devil May Cry, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Crossout crew. You got me one step closer to 350 followers. I don't know if we'll get there by the end of the year. I doubt it, but thank you so much. We're one step closer to opening up that sweet, sweet Discord. There we go. Are we shocked that Andrew might get few movies after his act in No Way Home? I'm happy because I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, like always. So I'm happy that people are finally like enjoying him. Um, Chili, I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Also, thanks Jay for stopping by. Going back to my previous thought about Harry, one thing it was introduced, I think about 5-10 years ago, is that Harry's mother's maiden name was Lyman. And after a while, after Green Goblin is doing so many messed up things, Harry's like, I'm not going to be Harry Osborn anymore. Like, the Osborn name is so tainted that I want to go by my mother's maiden name. So I think that he should be introduced as Harry Lyman in the movies, because then you'd go through the whole movie when Harry's introduced as not knowing that it's Harry Osborn. He just has a friend called Harold Lyman, and you're just like, oh, cool, he's such a nice guy. And then, like, near the end, you realize who it is, and you're like, oh shit. So I think that would be very cool. And I think it would be even cooler if, like, you get an introduction to Norman Osborn in this universe, who maybe is starting up a business, starting up a company, essentially. But what if he's a good guy in this universe, in the MCU? Like, what if he's similar to this game's Norman Osborn, where he's actually kind of nice, and Peter knows what he becomes, so he's like, no, you're a piece of shit. Like, I hate you. Like, he's treating him terribly, and Norman's like, why do you not like me? Like, I'm just trying to start my business and be a good, honest person. Oh, you came to sleep. Okay, thank you, Chili, for stopping by for a second. I really appreciate it. Norman is iron. So, before this movie, I wanted Norman to be introduced into the MCU as like the MCU's version of Trump. I wanted him to be like such an asshole politician, that where all of the like on the ground heroes, so like Captain America, Hawkeye, all the new like younger heroes that are being introduced, all the ones who like don't have to deal with space and shit, like they have to deal with this politician who is basically like super corrupt, but like the public, like all the heroes know that he's up to some underhanded shit, but the public think that he's a really good person. So, and they still could do that. They also could make him Iron Patriot since they're doing Armor Wars, which I think is going to be a TV show about a bunch of people getting access to Iron Man suits. So they could do Norman Osborn, even though they had Green Goblin in this movie.
Stay where you are, MJ. I'll handle this. Damn it. Move it, Pete. Move.
My idea was to have Robbie, his roommate, introduce Peter to Harry Osborn, and Peter. They could do that too. I would do young Norman, not Harry. Interesting. Also, why Madam Web? Also, that swinger on the tree was kind of dope. I did that by accident. Ow. I don't know if I would do young Norman. I definitely would do it through Harry. I would actually cast Timothy Chalamet as Harry, the guy who plays Paul in Dune. Could you imagine? He was opposite MJ, right? He was opposite Zendaya in Dune, and he's friends with Tom Holland in real life. So like, it would just be funny to see Tom Holland, Timothy Chalamet, and Zendaya like all together on screen. I think that would be so funny. He did, but I think if anybody could talk him into it, it would be Zendaya and Tom Holland. Also, I've always wondered who the mentor was who said that. Happy in an Iron Man suit needs to happen. I was talking about this on Twitter. There's so many places, like you can still use Happy in so many things. He could be in Armor Wars. He could be in Iron Heart. Damn, that's some arm strength, Miles. You haven't even been bit by the spider yet. How much do you think Peter weighs? Like 180? It's a lot of weight to pull up. I do kind of want a Harry, but one that doesn't turn evil. Yeah, if Harry's introduced, I don't want him to turn evil. I think the only conflict that I would want to see between Peter and Harry is maybe Harry shows up and he's like, yeah, this is my girlfriend, and it's MJ. That'd be kind of fucked. But like, I don't want him to like be the Green Goblin or the new Goblin or whatever. If they're gonna bring back the Goblin, then I would want them to make Ned Hobgoblin, or I would want them to make Norman Osborn the ultimate Goblin. You know, the Goblin from like Into the Spider-Verse, where he's big and actually looks like a goblin monster. I would want that version of the Green Goblin.
So I didn't know if you wanted sparkling or flat or spring or mountain spring. So I got one of each.
Miles is me.
Am I interrupting?
No,
Coming in at the most
MJ,
awkward
Miss
moment.
Watson and I were just talking strategy.
Nah, MJ is at MIT. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they still can't date, though.
It's in danger. It needs our
Like,
help.
I'm sure Peter will go to some other college, maybe Empire State or wherever. But, like, that doesn't mean that Harry and MJ
Divide and
still
conquer.
can't date.
Ms. Watson,
I absolutely think that MJ will be thrown into these movies again.
Oscorp's developing something.
I hope that she's not tossed into number 4. I hope that they give us some time. But Zendaya's definitely showing back up.
Miles,
Again, you would do young Norman.
eyes and ears at feet.
That's such an interesting idea.
Anything goes wrong, call me. We need to keep that place.
Would you make it a twist where like Peter becomes friends with him and only realizes he's
Costume nut jobs is
Norman Osborn after a while, or
time I return the favor.
would you like have it be a thing where he
Hey, wait,
finds out who
what do I call you?
this young guy is right away?
Phone in your pockets or something?
Ms. Watson can give you my number. Good luck, team.
Firestar. That name sounds familiar.
Number. Are you Spider-Man's girlfriend? That'd be so cool.
Come on, Sherlock. Show me what you got in this water smorgasbord.
I don't know if I would want MJ to be a superhero.
The city feels a little
Is that red hair, yellow suit?
Watching Feast, MJ is tracking a devil's breath.
That's what I have in my head,
For me
but
to focus on finding
I...
stopping whatever he has planned. Yuri, we need to start tracking the big boys. Still no leads on Octavius?
No. Nothing.
Yes.
Forensics can't even do a sweep of Times Square. Everyone in that department but the intern is sick.
Interesting. Sorry, I googled it in a different tab. It says Firestar Angelica Angel Jones.
You know what I like about you, kid?
Interesting.
Getting better.
Gee, thanks, creepy stalker guy.
You can call me Taskmaster.
Cause you keep leaving me tasks? That's kinda on the nose.
There's a group of mercenaries committing crimes across the city.
These mercenaries wouldn't happen to be your mercenaries, would they?
No. All I know is they're getting paid well for their work. Unless you stop them, that is.
What's in it for you?
I get to watch and learn.
There's so many different directions that you could go with these movies. One thing I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys think that Uncle Ben exists in the MCU? Because I was sure that they were going to show Aunt May's grave next to Uncle Ben's grave, but they did not. So I want to know what you guys think.
This is not how you protect or serve.
Marcus, if they do that, I would like Norman genuinely wanting to be friends with Peter, and once Peter like knows who this guy is, he like distrusts him and like wants to stay away from him, you know? And like the kid is that version of Norman is just like, dude, I just want to be friends with you. And maybe he I don't know, has a tense relationship with Peter because Peter treats him badly. Firestar was basically introduced to be MJ with mutant powers, so it could be a full circle moment. Interesting. They could do it. They definitely could do it. Can you not use lethal force? Thank you. I still think Uncle Ben exists. Probably cremated, but Uncle Ben and Peter's relationship would be considerably different. I think that's why I'm interested the most in not like actually curious for the freshman year show that's coming to Disney Plus, because I want to see.
Thought you might need one, officer.
Also, we get to see Aunt May again, which is I do want to. That's the one thing about killing Aunt May is that we don't get any more moments with her, but we get to see her again in this show. So I just want to see more of Aunt May being good to Peter, you know. Norman Osborn, a better mayor for a better New York. Freshman year is going to be interesting. It very much will be. I'm going to continue talking about Spider-Man in a second with you guys. Want to get your thoughts on what that show is going to be in a second, and also like what you guys think what might happen in the MCU. But I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, so I will be right back. Be sure to hold down the fort for me, guys. All right, I am back, guys. Let me actually mute the desktop real quick. I gotta figure out a way to. I have this Stream Deck, but I gotta figure out a way to mute the desktop quicker, I guess. I think we're all good though, right? Yeah, I think we're solid. Let me see what you guys have been saying. Also, let me get my chair back into position. Hell no, Ben does not exist in the MCU. Wait, I didn't even see that before I left. Marcus, if you're still here, why do you... Peter's face when Toby and Andrew talk about Ben. Tom Holland's face says, "Who is this Ben?" What If does mention Uncle Ben, but I wonder if they're going to change that, I guess. Like, I wonder if they're going to retcon it. What? I just...
Some residue on this sign. Maybe I can isolate it.
Stream is still holding up. I felt bad that I skipped the last puzzle, so I feel like I should do this puzzle. I feel like I should try. I felt really bad for skipping them. Though I'm not doing too hot. Speaking of which, you would love to see what if callbacks being used to Purpose freshman year story. Like have Peter at 9 to 11 being dropped off at his uncle and aunts. That's an interesting take on Uncle Ben. I actually don't dislike that because so Uncle Ben is the dad's brother, and I could see him being a little bit bitter. That kind of makes sense. That's not what I wanted to do.
Oscorp's modified CPF-1. Definitely Devil's Breath. Should be.
That's such an interesting take to do, Uncle Ben. I don't hate it. It's such a different direction to go that I would like to see it, and maybe like have some scenes of Aunt May like trying to be like, hey, you should actually try and relate to this kid that we have to take care of now.
Trail leads down into those vents. What was Otto doing up here? Should be a door.
What villains would you like to see in the freshman year show?
Well, this is moody. Must be some way to hit the lights.
I appreciate that Peter has detective vision, even though it doesn't make any sense.
Let there be light. Whoa. Was Otto using this as a staging ground? Chaos of the prison break would have been perfect cover to move in.
Also, I love this suit so much. I know we have a new one that's homemade and it has the very poppin' blue, but
Looks like Otto's
the
been studying
gold,
Sable's
the
tech
black, and the
frequency
red,
system.
I've really grown to love it. I was trying to set down my Yeti in the gentlest way so that it wouldn't pick up on the mic, but it still did.
Norman. Feel like I can't turn around without seeing his face. He smiles for the cameras, collects his accolades, and keeps his
He mapped out all of Oscorp.
Why can't anyone
My personal opinion, Ben does not exist in the MCU. Well, I guess we'll see.
If only they could be made to see the Norman I know. The man behind the mask.
The villain part for freshman year would be difficult as hell. Like Flash and Uncle Ben's killer are the only ones that could make sense. See, I think there's two villains that could make sense. Only two.
My second favorite.
Big Wheel and Stiltman. Two joke villains from Spider-Man's history. I feel like you could actually do those. Like, they wouldn't be like major villains, obviously, but like you could fit them in and make them work.
I see a warrior with a poet's heart. I know you desire freedom.
Marcus, I'm gonna try and see the movie again this week, and I hope I can catch that.
Shall be yours.
Otto developed a corrosive to free Rhino from his suit. A certain government agency spent years trying and failing to do that. Only took Otto a few days. Mac Gargan, aka Scorpion, aka Crazy Pants McCrazy.
Scorpion's suit is so cool in this game.
It's rare for me to admit this, Mr. Gargan. Clearing your debts was more difficult than I anticipated. You're in arrears.
Maybe a Tombstone pre-powers could make it to where I could fit freshman year somewhere that makes sense. Tombstone could make sense. I like stuff like Big Wheel, Stiltman, and like any of the gang stuff could work. But like you can't get like too super villainy.
Old man Vulture. I've tangled with him more than anyone else here.
He's got a bed and a wheelchair for him. So the Sinister Six were staying here. I never caught that. That's interesting. I never caught that.
Adrian, what bitter irony that your miraculous wings should have wrought such horrors on your body. Thankfully, you are now working for me. When our work is settled, the treatment I've developed will cure you.
Was watching Spectacular Spider-Man for the first time, so I'm really on a Tombstone high. I haven't seen it. It's on Disney Plus now, right? I need to go check it out.
Power source for Vulture's wings gave him spinal cancer. And Otto's developing an experimental treatment to save him.
I've only, honestly, with the shows, I have seen parts of Ultimate, a lot of the 90s, and I think that's it, honestly.
Electro. Total live wire, that one.
Max, when you first conveyed your dream to me, I thought you insane. Pure energy. But as I dove deeper into the problem, I discovered a way to give us both what we desire.
I wonder how long Otto has been like planning this. I can't remember if they say it or not.
So close to it as to make the difference irrelevant.
It's not on Disney Plus from what I remember. I know Ultimate is, I know that. in the other Spider-Man show, which
Electro's big
I'm
plan
not too much of a fan. I'm gonna be honest.
Doc actually managed to
That's also
modify his
on there.
harness to get a little closer to that goal.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
What's this now?
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. It only has 2 seasons, right? It got canceled early.
Bulb.
Can I move it?
Huh, nothing happened. Must be a way to get that lamp on.
Yeah, let me just use my X-ray vision.
There we go. Hidden markings. Otto's tasked the villains to destroy Oscorp holdings throughout the city. He's trying to take apart Norman's empire piece by piece.
We don't talk about that newer show. That newer show just tried to cram too much in, honestly, from what I've seen. They tried to cram too much in at once. Like, Peter is barely Spider-Man, and Miles is there already, and it's just like, no. Because it like MCU, I'm sure, is going to do Miles, but like, you can't bring Miles until like movie 5 or 6, right? They'll probably bring him in 5. Peter will probably go through college in 4. He'll probably be in the working world in 5, and that's when he meets Miles, who gets bit. And then in 6, it'll probably be like both of them being Spider-Man, right? But yes, Watchdog, let's go, Silk. I'm a huge Silk fan. Silk is so cool to me, and also like the Silk was Peter's classmate in Homecoming, and she's one of the ones that like aged up. Like she wasn't erased in the snap, so I feel like you could bring her back in and like do a whole thing with her, like she got powers during that 5-year gap or some sort of thing. But I really like Silk as a character. Can't take Gwen seriously as a spider person unless it has to do with showcasing weird vision of spider people. What do you mean? Yeah, they could absolutely do Silk. Um, so to answer your question, Marcus, Spider Gwen, if they do decide to do it, I would not want them to do it in the MCU movies. If they're going to do it in the like if they decide to bring back Andrew Garfield for these movies, for his own set of movies, do it there. Because you could make a Spider-Man 3 or 4 or whatever, Amazing Spider-Man 3 or 4, where Peter, finally decides to look for Mary Jane, right? He's just gone through this adventure with Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland, where they have both had their own MJs. So maybe he decides to look up MJ, and he starts to form a relationship, or at least a friendship with her, when suddenly Spider-Gwen comes on the scene, maybe from another universe, and now he has to deal with both of that. So, it could be an idea.
Electro's disabling Oscorp power plants. Makes sense.
Spider-Gwen is too popular not to do, unfortunately. I just think it would be easier to do in the Andrew Garfield universe. You could do it in the MCU, but if you do it in the MCU, I think they wouldn't do it until Miles becomes the main Spider-Man. So, like, I'm sure Spider-Man 6 will be, like, Tom Holland's, like, last outing, basically, where he kind of passes the torch to Miles Morales. And then I think from there, you could probably introduce Spider-Gwen into the MCU if she hasn't been introduced already. can't do Spider-Gwen in...
Icarus, this is it.
Why? Like, she'd be from another universe.
Seems like
That's what I
Peter
mean.
and Lee have more of a history than I thought. How long have they known each other?
Thank you for the medication. It's helped, but this episodes continue to grow stronger. Things haven't been this bad since I was a child. I feel like I'm barely in control. Yesterday, during Osborn's address, I came close to blacking out. Seeing him triggers feelings I had thought long buried. I'm not sure how much longer I can live in his shadow like this.
Oh, Martin. When I first realized it was you targeting Osborn these past weeks.
Yeah, Watchdog, we don't talk about that.
But then, as the
I was talking with my girlfriend about that plot point, and she was like, she thought I was making it up, and I'm like, no, this is actual shit that Sony tried to pull. Like, she thought I was pulling it from my ass. I'm like, no, this is stuff that Sony actually tried to do before we got Tom Holland. No, Dark Main. I'm good.
Never been properly introduced. I'm
Otto Octavius. There is no Icarus, is there?
No. Martin needs no assistance to secure the anti-serum. Icarus was a ruse to get you into position.
Into position?
This is my favorite cutscene of the game. And I'm trying to see it. Okay, cool. I needed to ban that bot. Vulture dragging Peter across the city is so cool. Because Peter's like skating on the street. Like, watch this. He's like skating on the street in a couple seconds, trying to dodge cars.
Traffic's rough. Listen, Lee's gunning for the anti-serum. We need to find Oscorp's devil's...
I don't know. I find it so cool to me that he's still dodging things even though he's trapped. Also, it leads to my favorite fight in the game where you have to fight Vulture and Electro.
Trap failed? Time for plan B.
Oh, I just realized the scar on his face is the star that he usually has. I never noticed that.
Teamwork's beautiful, ain't it? Helping you reach those unattainable goals. Like killing Spider-Man.
That was almost heartwarming, Electro. You really grew in prison, didn't you?
How do I fight him again?
Now's my chance. I can damage him if I web the transformer.
So you want to talk about the movie now instead of our fan theories? Yeah, sure, I can. Give me 2 seconds. So where did I leave off at? Okay, so Peter, like, everybody knows who he is, and it's actually pretty dark. But it's also kind of lighthearted, and I appreciate the balance. When MJ and Ned, when they all go to open up their college letters, I actually thought that one of them they had framed it in an interesting way. No. They had framed it in an interesting way where I thought that one of them had actually gotten into MIT. But I guess it made more sense for them not to, for all of them not to get in, because then Peter affects their life in very negative ways. Okay, guy. Oh, shit. He keeps moving. The tonal changes were really well done. Yeah, I think so, absolutely.
You got it! You got my joke! I'm so happy I can almost stop fighting. Almost.
I love fighting both of them at the same time. It's so fun, so much fun.
Liked it better when you two were loners.
Um,
Amazing what a little team.
but yeah, so like, the tone starts to change when he goes to meet the MIT like vice chancellor on the bridge, which apparently, according to my dad, is a childhood friend of his. Because he like freaked out when he saw her in the. Oh God! Oh. Okay. Okay. Hold on. He freaked out when he saw that. When he saw that MIT instructor on the bridge, he was like, "Oh no way! That's so cool!" And I was like, "Wait, what?"
You got my joke.
So it was really really funny.
Almost.
Yeah, it was like a small world moment. He said that she had been in a lot of like TV shows and plays, but she had never been in like a big, as far as he knows, of like a big budget movie. So he said that that was cool to see. But him fighting Doc Ock was really cool. And at first I was confused because I was like, okay, like why is Doc Ock mad if he, like, because he's good when he finds out that Peter is Spider-Man. But that's not true, because in 2, like, he finds out Peter is Spider-Man, and he goes, Peter! And then for, like, a split second, he chokes him, because he's still under control of the arms, and that's when he was teleported. So it makes sense.
Miss me. Now you got it. You know what? Forget I said anything.
This is much harder on Ultimate. Jesus, they're moving. They are cruising. My friend went into this blind and was so confused to why Dr. Ock. Oh, he didn't know. He or she didn't know anything? Like, they hadn't even seen trailers or anything? Because my girlfriend, she doesn't like to, like, watch trailers and stuff. But even she knew that the villains were in the movie. Once he found out, he was like, I'm so glad that they're doing this. Oh, that's actually really cool. Why did that not break? That's actually, I can't imagine watching this movie completely blind. That's so cool. I mean, we kind of did watch it blind, but like, you know what I mean. Like, not knowing anything about it. What? I pressed O! That counts as a death, but like, come on, what? Also, I did not, we're actually at 13 because I forgot to update it. I hit the button. Oh. Wrong command? It's getting harder, guys. It's getting harder as we reach this. We get to the, like, the end game. He was probably busy with a lot. Yeah, that's one thing. My timeline is like half news, half MCU stuff on Twitter. At least on my personal account. So, like, Spider-Man was everywhere, right? But on my girlfriend's account, she doesn't get any of that stuff. Ow. She doesn't get any of that stuff, so, like, I kept telling her, like, didn't mean to take that picture, but we got it. I kept telling her, like, stay off of the internet, and she's like, oh, I'm on the internet, and I'm not getting any spoilers, and I was shocked, but... How? Okay. Okay, hold on. Level with me here, guys. How am I abandoning a mission if I webbed onto Vulture. I webbed onto Vulture. I'm tracking him. You know what? Okay, whatever.
Bit overeager there, Electro. Not complaining, mind you.
Should have seen his smile when Toby came through the portal. I was actually genuinely shocked about Andrew Garfield, because I did not know that was what was happening. I thought that they had found Tom Holland, and I was like, oh cool, they found him. Now they get to like have a moment with him. And then Andrew Garfield came through the portal, and I was like, holy shit. This is so hard on Ultimate, my god. Yes, I am. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm like actually trying to beat this boss battle and having an actually really hard time at it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Andrew being in his Spidey outfit and Toby being dressed like an average Jew. Yeah, I was surprised that, like, I was kind of shocked that Toby was just kind of dressed normally. But then I appreciated the moment where they were like, are you just going in like a youth pastor? And he showed his suit under. I thought that was really a really good moment. One thing that I thought was interesting was, so I already talked about the one thing I didn't like, which was, okay, cool, which was, Aunt May's death. I kind of would have switched it, but I understand why it happened. I don't hate it.
Should check on Sparky.
I think I've always been Electro first, I'm gonna be honest. But the one thing that I found interesting was it made sense for Goblin and Doc Ock to be there, right? But it was kind of weird to have Lizard and Sandman. Honestly, Lizard felt more natural. It was weird that Sandman was, like, bad. It made sense at first, because he thought that maybe Peter had killed Electro, like, vaporized him with the magic web. But then, afterward... Oh, come the fuck on. No way. No way. I had killed Vulture. Guys, this got hard. This actually got harder. It's getting hard to talk. Sandman's whole thing was, I don't trust Peter. He's using me like a lab rat. Also, I feel like he really... I think, if I really have to stretch it, I think that Electro was there for power. Goblin was there for power. And he was just a madman. Lizard... I don't think Lizard... If I really had to, like, think it through, I don't think Lizard believed in the plan to begin with. So I think, like, once it went wrong, he was just like, fuck it, I'll just do whatever I want. but his motivation was kind of weak. Sandman's, if I had to guess, he just wanted to get back to his daughter. And when things went sideways and like Electro was like, I'm gonna destroy the box, he's like, no, I want the box because I want to go home. Like, I don't think that Sandman cared about being cured. I just think he wanted to go home. But the way he reacted was just so poorly. Like, come on. So it's hard to find mental gymnastics. Like, you kind of have to do some mental gymnastics for Sandman. I'm gonna be honest. Before this movie, I would have said, yeah, do Sandman for the college trilogy. Now I don't really care to see him. I'm like, all right, whatever. Where'd he go? This ultimate mode is not going to ruin my favorite fight. I refuse. I actually refuse. God, I hope the Scorpion and Rhino fight isn't this bad. I want Alistar Smythe stuff, but that's my 90s Spidey side talking. I don't really know much about him aside, like, I know he's a Spider Slayer, but I don't really know much about the Spider Slayer other than him having like a suit. I know he was in, wasn't he in Amazing Spider-Man 2 technically? I don't know. Feel free to explain why Spider Slayer is so cool. Damn it, screw Electro. Okay, I think this is the run. His father was killed and he blamed Spider-Man. Oh, so just like Harry in the Raimi trilogy. Just like Harry in the Raimi trilogy. I getcha, I gotcha. Legit, the only reason I like him is because the only 90s Spidey stuff that came on as a kid had to do with him. Interesting. Uh-oh. Cool, was that it? Great. It took like 4 tries, but we did it. It was sloppy, but we did it.
What's happening?
Electro's been grounded.
Spider-Man, I presume. If you really cared about this city, you'd be helping me expose Osborn for the criminal he is.
What else? Sorry, I hit my mic.
You need help.
I have all the help I need, and we will not stop until Norman gets what he
We talked about Toby and Andrew appearing. I really liked their dynamic between the three of them, because like once they're all like kind of together and working in the lab, you get to see like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man really work well with Tom's, because Andrew Garfield's is like very He's the funniest of the three. He he's very jokey, and he's like he apologizes after he messes up, whereas like Tobey Maguire is like very not shy, but just very dorky and nerdy and polite. And then you have Tom Holland, which is kind of a mix of the two, but definitely younger. Like, absolutely has the younger vibe. And I just think that their banter together was so good.
I assume you're going after Scorpion?
Yeah, city's already on the brink. If we lose clean water, we might never come back. I'll update you when I make progress.
Sounds like a plan.
Loved how they weren't competing against each other, but were building each other up. Yeah, that was one thing I was interested, that I wasn't sure if they were going to do. Like, if they would be, like, fighting against each other, or if they'd actually, like, be encouraging each other and, like, hyping each other up. And I'm glad that it was the second option, you know?
And I'd rather be doing something than waiting around for somebody else to fix things, you know?
Yeah, I heard that. Just make sure you protect yourself. Mask and gloves. And rest every now and then. All that goes double for May.
Nobody can make that woman take a break when she doesn't want to. But I'll do my best.
Thanks, Miles. Give May my love. And be safe.
The game has actually gotten hard now. It's actually, like, difficult on ultimate mode. I'm actually, like, trying. Oh, I got hit by that. It's also crazy how there were actually characters with arcs. That was the thing I think I wanted the most, was for them to like respect what had come before, like respect their arcs that came before, and like give us a little food on what they've been up to since the movies that we had grown up with, and they did. The only thing that I was a little like disappointed with in terms of that was when okay, Peter was just floating for no reason. Also, I love how that man like threw a grenade at me and then jumped forward towards the grenade for no reason.
Sad part is, in an hour, these same guys will be back out chasing me.
They could have easily been like, here they are now, cheer. Yeah, that was what I was afraid of, was that they were just going to introduce them during the final battle. Like, Peter was about to die from the villains, and then they would just introduce the Spider-Men and be like, oh, here they are, and now we have to go. But, like, the whole back half of the movie has them as supporting characters, and I really like that. But the thing I was most afraid of... Holy shit, there's so many guys. And I want to fight them all, but it's kind of a waste of time. One thing I was afraid of was losing my train of thought. Had to do with the Spider-Men. And I think I lost it. I think I lost my train of thought. It was something related to character arcs. Oh, the one thing I didn't like. The one thing that I didn't like was they're talking about how they fought aliens in space, right? And Tobey Maguire goes, yeah, I fought an alien. I fought an alien. It was a black goo monster, right? And Tom Holland goes, yeah, I fought one in space and on Earth. It was purple. And then Andrew Garfield goes, oh, I just fought a dude in a rhino suit. And I kind of wish that Andrew Garfield would have given us a little bit more, like would have told us like some villains that he fought that we hadn't seen yet. But that's just me. I kind of wish we got that, but also at the same time, like, I kind of understand it from a filmmaking standpoint, because if they do want to make another Andrew Garfield movie and they want to use a villain, then it's best not to, like, say a villain that he's already defeated in case you want to use that down the line. Right, exactly.
Whoa. What the... Is that a sea of poison? Can't be. This can't be real. Must be the poison. But I can't take any chances. Gotta get to higher ground and analyze whatever he injected me with.
This mission's kind of crazy. I really like it, but it's kind of nuts. It certainly is a trip. Whoa, I got really close to that poison.
Okay, should be safe for a minute.
But yeah, the movie was very good. I have some critiques, but it's nothing crazy, you know? And I think if I had to rank them all, I would put I think I would put this at number 3 under did I put it at number 3 or number 4? I put it at number 3 in terms of Spider-Man movies. It's Into the Spider-Verse for me, just because, and that only wins because it is such a incredible feat of animation, and they did justice to the character of Miles and all the characters in that movie. And they were able to get the message of Spider-Man across to everyone. And then Spider-Man 2 is the perfect Peter Parker story. It has like all the elements that I would ever want. This comes in number 3 for me. In terms of the MCU, I think I have this listed at 3 or 4. I think my list is Captain America, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame, this, and Shang-Chi. I think that's my top 5. You legit got me mad saying it's number 3. It's number 3. It's number 4 in terms of the MCU. But it's number 3 in terms of the Spider-Man movies. Peter 1 breaking open the glider to get the bombs and putting it inside the glider just to let it blow up was so savage. You know what was also savage of Goblin was when and I noticed this on my second viewing, Green Goblin gets away with the cube, which I did remember the name, but now I forgot it. It was like the Macadicadamus or whatever the hell. It had a funny name that I tried to remember. But he gets away with the cube, right? With the Allspark from Transformers. And Tobey Maguire webs him, and it doesn't really do much. But then Doctor Strange does the magic lasso, and that like pulls him back, and I'm like, oh shit, like we're gonna see Doctor Strange versus Green Goblin. And he gets the cube back, Doctor Strange, like super easily because he's using magic. But the fact that Green Goblin shoved a pumpkin bomb in the cube was so savage to me. And like all 3 Peters like realized what was happening like a second before it happened, and Doctor Strange didn't even know what was going on because he doesn't have spider sense. So it blew up on everyone, and that just messed everything up. Like, it's so funny that this guy who doesn't have any magical powers, he's just a psychopath, like he's responsible for cracking open the multiverse.
I'm so sorry.
sorry. And yet, you let it happen. Makes one wonder where your priorities lie. I mean, if I was really that important,
There's like chimes in this park,
why would you let me destroy
and they're like
this?
chiming in my ear, and they're really loud.
Help you. It's the neural web. It's affecting your mind.
You mean the neural web you helped create? The hard truth is, you did this to me. Without your help, I would have never done any of those terrible things.
Also, who were all the villains coming through? So the first time I saw a guy with a staff, and I was like, who is that? And I think that was Craven. Are these hands? What are they? Oh, whoa. I never... Hold on. Hold on. It's 2 seconds, and I'll go back to the villains. I never noticed this. A bunch of hands. This is some Doctor Strange imagery. I gotta walk up cinematically, you know. I saw Craven with a spear and a non-mechanized. Yeah, seeing the non-mechanized Rhino got me super excited. Even though they'll probably never do that in the movies, I thought that was really cool to see. I heard Black Cat was in there too. I heard that too. But I didn't see her. I saw Craven, Rhino. I saw Scorpion, which I couldn't tell if it was a... I forgot about that. That scared the shit out of me. I saw a not... I couldn't tell if the Scorpion was mechanized or not. Whoa, I'm so close to the sea of poison, it's not even funny.
There's the research station. We need that atropine. I have to get into the station. Atropine's right there.
Definitely overanalyzing that scene when I get it on Blu-ray. I don't know if you know the YouTube channel New Rockstars. They do like a lot of like Marvel analysis content. I think they have a video out that like kind of goes over who the ones seen were. You're
too late.
So yeah, I definitely think that it's Scorpion.
This isn't you, Doc.
Scorpion, Rhino, and Craven. And it makes me wonder, like, are we going to see all three? Like, are we going to see a non-mechanized Rhino?
I'm sorry. I'll find a way to help you. I swear it.
This is cool imagery. I like this a lot.
You never help anyone. Poison isn't it. You are the poison. Everyone you touch suffers.
Stop running.
I hit it. I guess that counts as a death. I definitely hit the buttons. I had them triggered. Damn. This death counter is really going up in this one stream.
Stop running from me. Let me try.
I want nothing from you. You're a failure at life.
I definitely got to get this movie on Blu-ray though.
You bring nothing but pain.
No, stop. I'm not giving up on you. Please, just talk to me. I can help you.
Are any of you guys excited for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? This this movie, I already like Doctor Strange, but I think this movie really made me like Doctor Strange. Especially in the scene. This was also one moment where I almost cried, where Doctor Strange says, everybody who knows and loves you, we are going to forget you. And when he says we, he stops for a second, like he is shocked that he considers himself in that group. And like his eyes start welling up. And I just found that so surprising and so like touching.
Looks like I'm headed back to the lab.
And I hope that I can't expect everybody to regain their memories of Peter Parker, but I hope that at some point Doctor Strange remembers, because I think that would be very nice.
Count on it.
Whoa! The back half of the game is no joke on,
Okay. Poison bad.
like I said.
Own that.
Like I said.
Now I just
What did we start at? What were we at? Like 11? Yikes.
need to mix up the antidote.
This is what happens when you don't stream for a week.
I'm nearly cured. Sorry to bust up your plan.
I really want them to do some multiversal, unconventional storytelling, like Tom's Peter rejects the symbiote. So when Venom says, let's see...
Count on it.
Interesting. They could definitely do it. They could definitely, like... They could do, like, multiversal storytelling through Venom now. I'm not against that, actually.
I don't even want to know what Freud would make of those. Made it. Somehow.
Yeah, somehow, honestly.
I need to mix the antidote.
People kept bringing up to me, like, they would see the movie and they'd be like, oh, they'd be like, is Tom Holland gonna become emo? And I'm like, no, I can't see Tom Holland being emo in, with the symbiote, you know? Oh, come on. Really? Okay, hold on. I can't see Tom Holland being emo. I feel like his version of the of having the symbiote on him would be kind of like the comics, where like Peter thought he was hot shit, right? He wore like tight muscle shirts and like he
Are you even real? Oh, still.
and he would
Another hallucination.
like have like stubble on his face and like messy hair. Like he'd know that he was like he'd know that he was tough shit, hot shit, basically. Also, these lights remind me of It.
Sure it is. Now I know you're the poison trying to distract me. Bring it
I
on.
don't remember this.
One down.
Not that I dislike it.
All you'll ever be is a loser. Can't let him get to me. Got him.
Oh,
Gotta get rid of him and focus on the job. Nice.
Tom can't grow stubble, so that part isn't happening. How do we know? How do we know? We don't know this. I mean, you're probably right, but we don't know.
Another one down.
Let's ask Zendaya. I barely managed to dodge that shit.
Four.
If I was your uncle, I would have jumped in front of a bullet too.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Really developed an attitude.
That's messed up. If I was your uncle, I would have jumped in front of a bullet too.
That's the last of them. I can barely stand up.
How do I not remember this? Like, this is one of my favorite games, and I don't remember, like, chunks of this dream section.
Finally. I'm running out of time. I can feel it.
Pretty sure he talked about having to grow patchy facial hair for a part, and it taking a month on the Graham Norton show. Oh, okay.
Too far.
Interesting. I think it might have been for
Much better.
Cherry.
Forget that ever happened.
I think it was a Netflix or not a Apple Plus show. I'm not doing these puzzles. I'm sorry. It might have been for that movie. Oh, so I'm probably gonna go for another 30 minutes or so, and then call it, and then I will start it. I'll start at 8 sharp on Wednesday. I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see. We'll see where I am in 30 minutes, I guess. But latest I'll go today is 12:30.
I won't get any peace until I shut that down. Let's see if I can do it quietly. Aw, a rooftop party for me? With spotlights and everything?
Game has definitely gotten harder though. And I don't remember that much of the game, which is kind of exciting.
Thorny ethical question at you. When is it okay to give up on a friend?
Oh, wow, Pete. Thinking of Otto?
That obvious, huh?
Yeah, understandable, though. Man, the high-minded, generous part of me wants to say never. Being a true friend means being there, even when people lose their way. But with what Otto does, I just don't know, Pete. I picked you up in the crowd with Otto up to
If I had killed myself by pulling a tower on me, I probably would have just ended the stream right then and there. I probably would have just been so embarrassed that I probably just would have called it.
I'm here for you.
We've dropped 0 frames during the stream, and I'm so happy. I just have to make sure that before, like, once a week, I gotta reset the router, I guess.
Here's your stuff.
But yeah, Spider-Man was nice and good, and it makes me excited. I saw a rumor actually on Twitter that comes from the Reddit Marvel Studios spoilers, which I do follow, and they're about right. I would say 65% of the time, maybe 70 if I'm being generous. But they say that Daredevil is going to be in a bunch of stuff coming up. He was in Spider-Man, and they're saying that he's going to be in the Echo show. They're saying that he's going to be in She-Hulk, which makes sense because he's a lawyer, obviously, and so is she. But they also said that he's supposed to be in Moon Knight, which I want him to be in, because Moon Knight is a vigilante and so is Daredevil. So like all of these appearances that are rumored make sense. Some people were saying, oh, he's going to show up in Hawkeye in the last episode, and that makes no sense to me. Now I gotta watch what... Yeah, I definitely am confused at Morbius, because Morbius has Vulture in it for some reason. And it makes 0 sense to me. Yeah, I have no idea what they're doing with Morbius. Hopefully they can figure it out. You know what would be cool? This is super fanfiction-y. But let's say...
Never understood people whose idea of fun is setting buildings on fire.
Maybe. Possibly. This is super fanfiction-y idea. But let's say that... Yeah, I want to manifest Andrew too. I really do. But let's say that Morbius happens, right? and it's in the Andrew Garfield universe, or it's self-contained, it's not in the MCU, right? They could still bring him over if they, like, let's say they did a Spider-Man 4 and 5, and then 6 was like their version of Spider-Verse. Like, they bring back Andrew Garfield, they bring back Tobey Maguire, they bring more Spider people into the fold, and they adapt Spider-Verse from the comics, where it's essentially vampire people who suck the life force out of spider people. Like, they like to hunt down and eat spider people, basically. If they did that, then they could find a way to tie Morbius into it. Because those vampires, like, they can move through different dimensions and shit. So, like, they could tie Morbius into it, either as a good guy or somebody who's trying to help those vampires. But that's me being fan fictiony. I would not be surprised though if Spider-Man 6 was No Way Home Part 2, where they're like, okay, we're bringing back Andrew Garfield, we're bringing back Tobey Maguire, and this time we're bringing in a bunch of Spider people. I'm pretty sure those guys are happening for Across the Multiverse. Good. Good, I hope so.
How are you? Healthy? I'm good. How are you holding up, man? Good, but busy. Oh, let me go.
No, May has COVID. Also, I'm very glad that that Twitch doesn't act like YouTube, where if I mention COVID, then I get like a strike or some shit.
Masters at turning my own words against me. I am fine, Peter.
Are you? Are you though?
Where's Miles? Could he help out? Oh, he is. He's off picking up medical supplies from the relief center. It's amazing how quickly we go.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. I got closure with Toby. I really don't need to see him anymore. Andrew, though, I could see a couple more times. At least like twice. Probably like one more solo movie, and then like I'd like to see him in a crossover or something. But that's just wishful thinking.
Sound his head made when the big guy hit? What the hell?
Need to distract him. Hacking app should work. Whoa!
I deserve that. I did not even attempt to do any form of stealth. We are racking up the deaths now. I can't blame it all on the Mary Jane sections.
Turn back.
They made Andrew an open book. Yeah, they absolutely did. I've noticed some people. Yeah.
Got a few seconds.
I've noticed some people saying, "Oh, they want Shailene Woodley to be the Mary Jane, in this universe." But I don't think that they should.
Gauze, iodine, no antibiotics. Whoa!
Damn, I'm bad at these. We're really about to hit 20 deaths. I just hit 20 deaths. Dang, I'm bad. Game said we're not pulling any punches anymore. I want the Black Cat stuff to happen for Andrew. See, I want it to happen for Tom, but because the Black Cat was supposed to be what's her name? Felicity Jones, I think. The girl from Rogue One. But I don't know that she also watch. Oops, death. I'm spazzing.
Maybe this will be easy.
Yeah, Andrew's thing is hard because I wonder how many people would come back, you know?
No antibiotics. I need to keep looking.
Because I don't know if she'd come back for that. She might. If she does, then great. There's so much glass everywhere. There's glass everywhere, and I didn't notice it before.
Need to get past these guys.
Hi, Irma. We're talking Spider-Man. What were your thoughts on the movie? What did you like and or hate? Also, we've gone from like 9 deaths to like 20 so quickly because the game got hard. I feel like the no pulling punches stuff would attract Black Cat. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it would attract Black Cat, but so would, like, Peter wouldn't be pulling punches with the Venom symbiote either. So he could be... He could be in, she could be in either version, really. If they got actors from 20 years ago to come back, I think they could get Miss Rogue One. Yeah, I guess so. But, like, yeah, I guess. You love the movie. Love the banter between the Spideys. And you cried so hard. I got so close to crying so many times. Yeah, so Irma, we watched the Andrew Garfield movies a couple days ago. You basically binge watched both of those movies. Now there are rumors of them making a 3, or people trying to petition for a 3. What would you like to see in a 3rd Andrew Garfield movie? Also, Irma, this whole stream, I've had such a hard time saying Andrew Garfield because she's been saying Andy Gryffindor as a running joke for the longest time, and that's all I've wanted to say this entire stream. I've struggled so hard. I just don't think Tom, with the knowledge of evil black goo, would let it bond with him. Who knows? I mean, I think that it has to happen. What tunnel? What tunnel? What tunnel? What tunnel? Ah! Miles died. No Miles Morales Spider-Man. Oh, dang. That was one of the more savage deaths. Andy Gryffindor top Spidey. You would love to see him growing from the grief. What I was saying before, was I feel like Tom at some point has to get the symbiote on him, just because it's something that people want to see so much, and they set up that expectation for us. Well, okay, so I think that, like, I think with Venom being on Tom, I don't think it would talk to him like it does with Eddie. Because in the comics, when he first gets the black suit, it doesn't talk to him. It just controls him. What? Why is this way harder than it ever has been for me? Go, 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 crawl with all your might. Go, 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 go. Why would the symbiote be silent? So, like, I don't think it would be the same, like, symbiote, right? Because I haven't seen Venom 2. I haven't seen Venom 2, but Carnage comes from Venom. And it's a completely different, like, thing. Like, it seems like every, like, little bit that comes off of Carnage has its own personality or mind, right?
That container. That's my exit.
Bro, you gotta turn the other way. Turn the other way. Shit. So you're saying it will be Venom's baby? I mean, yeah, kinda. Also, it's canon now that I'm just bad at Spider-Man. I had a more crazy theory that the symbiote used a small part and changed its molecular level to stay in the MCU. That could, yeah, that could work. There's just so, like, this didn't just open up like one door. This opened like 50. It's kind of insane.
I think I'll try another way. Need to get him to clear the opening.
I see. All right, Irma, thank you for stopping by for a quick second. I'm probably only going to stream for another, like, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe? Maybe after this part. I think this will be the final, like, mission that I finish. Infinite possibility in the palm of their hands.
Guess you let May know I have these.
Get off me! Just give us the wallet! Give it us, man! Help!
Hey, leave him alone!
Dang. They're gonna shank you now, Miles. You gotta chill. You gotta calm down.
You can't just push people around like that.
Or what? Like this? Kid's got guts.
Hip squared.
What the hell's he saying? Not gonna be saying anything in a second. Oh!
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Our goal for tomorrow is to try not to die, except for maybe the Doc Ock fight. I gotta calm down. I gotta
work on my fight banner.
actually like pay attention.
Hey, so don't freak out, but I gotta fill you in on some stuff.
Right.
Incredible work, Miles. Stick close to Feast. If the convicts get desperate, they may try to raid the shelter.
Way ahead of you. Anything else happens here, I'll let you know.
Great. Thanks, Miles.
Let's see how far we got. Didn't really tell me how far I got.
Yuri, figured out Rhino's deal.
Trying to figure out. Oh, campaign progress 75. Okay. We might be able to do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll just do an extra long stream. Maybe I'll go from like 8 to 1 or something like that. But I think I'm gonna call it for today. I'll be on time for tomorrow. Today I had a work thing. I got a bunch of emails from work that I had to take care of right as I was about to stream, and I was like, come on. So I had to start a little later than I wanted to. Let's actually get to that marker though, real quick.
Yuri,
How do you think they could naturally get past the spider blood and parent stuff? By just not mentioning it? Just don't mention it. Like it happened in that universe, but they don't need to focus on it. I don't think they're going to... Or I hope they don't do the thing where they revive people with spider blood, because I think that's very stupid. I think that's super dumb. I think Horizon Labs could make genetic spiders that can bite anyone. So are you saying that they would do the Oh no, I don't want to do that. No, I'm good. Unless that's the mission. Is that the mission? Guess this is the next mission, which we will do next time. That sounds like the story, what was it, like Spider Island? Where like all of New York got like spider powers. I never read it, but I heard about it. And that's an interesting idea. For sure. Very, very interesting idea, I think. But yeah. Okay, I think we are about to wrap up for today. Let me go to the credits. Yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by and hanging out. I really appreciate it, just the talk and the conversation, gushing about this movie, even though it was kind of all over the place. If you guys want to talk more about the movie or the future of the MCU, I'm going to be back tomorrow at 8. We'll try our best to finish the game. I will try not to die. I will try my best not to die. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you to Marcus. Let me say your full name. Marcus Devil May Cry for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thanks to Watchdog Man, Jay, Irma, anybody else who stopped by and hung out for a bit for hanging out with me and seeing me back to Twitch. I'm gonna stream tomorrow, and then not this Friday because it's Christmas Eve, but I will be doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday until January 8th, because then I go on vacation. So I'm going to take 2 weeks off, but we still have a ways off till then. So I'll be playing Spider-Man and then doing some art streams. Hope you guys come back for those. But until then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Be sure to treat yourself to a good book, a good snack, a good movie, or a good nap, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.